Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Once again, it is the three middle-aged guys just bullshitting about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And to include the person who's sitting in fourth chair tonight, Shanglong32, one of our old buddies. Actually, theme, I'm going to let you handle the formalities. Go ahead and introduce away.
Shanglong32. Shanglong32. Wow. Known each other for, what, well beyond 20-something years? Went to high school together. Really was like brothers growing up. Had some good times, had some bad times, but what friends don't.
Yeah, I know.
you know, got a lot in common. Gaming. He's also a wrestling fan. He's a gamer, and therefore he's one of the middle-aged guys.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, he has his own channel as well. Go check him out. He does shit. He whoops ass in gaming. Okay, especially fighting games specifically. So go check out his channel. And go ahead and go ahead. Say again.
Thank you for the introduction, and I'm glad to be here, guys. Yeah, my channel, I've had it for about 4 years, but just now started videos again. I do live feeds on when I play fighting games, sports games, so just come check it out. You might see me beat somebody down or get beat down. We never know what happens. Come check it out.
You play enough, the results will always vary, but this particular video isn't going to be about video games. It's actually going to be about comic books and a little bit different geeky stuff, comic books and comic book adaptations. As we all know, The Killing Joke was adapted and it was released out via Blu-ray earlier this year. All of us had a chance to watch it, and even though it's probably... I was about to say a few weeks, but it's actually more like a few months late. We've all got thoughts on it, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to run down a real quick review, just to go ahead and put a little bit of backstory. The original Killing Joke, and I have a reproduction right here, was a one-shot story that was put together by Alan Moore, and it was art by Brian Boland. This particular cover is very, very iconic. A lot of people recognize this. Basically, it was a one-shot story that came out in 1988 that went out of its way, and it pretty much typified, hey, look, everybody out there, if you're talking down about comic books, if you're saying that, oh, only idiots and 3-year-olds are entertained by this stuff, this was like the prime example, pre-90s, that everybody went ahead and put forward and said, no, if you have the right writers and the right artists, they can put together a really, really mature storyline and a really compelling story that'll make people look at this and they'll go, this isn't for fucking kids. All right.
You see, the thing about it is when people think of comic books, they think of the goody always Superman, and you know, they just have that image for the most part, as far as the goody person saving the day, corny type of stuff, and that's it. They don't have an open mind in order to fucking go out and branch out and experience different loads of comic books, or even characters for that matter.
Well, yeah, or their only particular exposure is what they see in the Sunday comics, the stuff that's in the color pages.
Oh yeah, the funnies.
Yeah, exactly. And let's just
the funnies is more entertaining than most TV shows.
Yeah, but let's just be truthful. You know, majority of the comic book industry pretty much thrived on what they called their young enthusiast audience. All right, these are the young kids, and they're trying to market off to kids that were like preteen. Okay, and then once they got into middle school and high school, they were expected to go ahead and let that go so that they could actually get on to being a teenager and on to being an adult. Now, as we all know, when you're a geek, one of the mainstays of a geek is that you don't let go of things that you love as a kid. All right?
You don't.
And, you know, this particular story, like I said, is 20 years old. The folks who really, really endear themselves to this, they were teenagers or they were kids at the time that this came out. They're already in their 20s and their 30s at least, okay? In fact, for a long time, The Killing Joke was one of those stories that people wanted adapted out into an animated form at one time or another, but Warner Brothers and DC balked at the idea for the longest time because they weren't sure that they could not that they could do the story right, but that they could go ahead and do the story in a way where they can market it out for a lot of people. Because the truth of the matter is that due to the nature of the story and the content of the story, if you start cutting things away from it to make it PG-13, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. You know?
No.
All right. Before we actually, I go ahead and I monopolize everybody's time. I've already been talking a lot. Guys, the floor is open. What was your thought of the animated version that we saw earlier?
Just didn't like the way it ended.
It's exactly the way that it ends in the comic book, though.
But I don't like the context of how it ended.
Yeah.
The ending basically said the whole name. The Killing Joke, which basically was a joke at the end.
Understood. But I'm talking about the whole. Wait. Let's talk about the contrast of Batman and the Joker when what they have been through throughout the fucking decades.
Yeah, I know.
Even when, okay, Batman was like, I want to help you. It's like, wait a minute, he has killed proteges of yours. This man has made people die like this.
Yep.
He has just terrorized, and he just got done terrorizing who you think as a father figure and his daughter, and you still want to go ahead and try to fix this dude. Now, I understand abiding by the law, that Batman is a vigilante and all that. I hear that. And I understand that Commissioner Gordon gave him the orders, let's bring him in. I just want to bring him in, show him that our way works. Understood. However, try to fix this dude is beyond fixable. He's beyond repair. He's done. He's gone. So for Batman to say that, it's like, no, it's not, not going to work.
I think it's one of those things. Well, I have a deeper psychological picture of why that may carry out, and I think that really taints my view. But before I go into that, because like I said, I've already talked a lot. Gray Mouse, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I personally think that it ended proper. That's the way it should have ended. Because I was a big fan of the comic book. I've actually read the comic book back in 1988 when it was released. And I think that joke at the end was exactly how it's supposed to end. It's a metaphorical joke, and it kind of explained the relationship between the Joker and the Bats within that joke. It's like, Batman will offer that bridge to come back from from wherever the Joker was. But is that bridge a real bridge, or is it a bridge of light that the Batman is going to turn off between those buildings? So I really thought that was a perfect ending to it. So that's just my opinion on that. And then the only thing I had a problem with in that whole movie was the beginning. Okay. To me, it was very unnecessary. I understood they wanted to give Batgirl more context within the story, but I personally think it was very unneeded, and especially the bat sets, that was completely unneeded. I think it really took away from what the original story was about, but I understand why they did it, but I don't agree with that 100% at all.
Before you go on, let me go ahead and touch on the ending really quick, because that's the first thing that we touched on, and then let's go ahead and jump back in and we'll expound on the beginning of the movie, because yes, I have some misgivings of that too. Okay, to tell you the truth, the ending of the movie is probably the ending of the actual story itself, as it's written in this particular one-shot story, was the hardest thing to sit there and kind of carry across, because the one thing that a lot of people say if they've read the actual story is they either love the ending, they hate the ending, or they're at the point where they're like, I have no fucking idea what that means. Okay? Because
I haven't said anything yet on that.
Yeah, I mean, because, well, before you do that, okay? Because if you see the way that it's actually written, the last few panels where they're laughing, if you notice, they're laughing together all the way up until this point right here, and then it's just Batman laughing. And then it's just silence and then it goes to black all of a sudden. Okay. In the animated adaptation, you could still hear them both laughing. What a lot of people have said, as far as, you know, long time 20-year-old theories about, you know, what actually happened there. A lot of people have theorized that Alan Moore actually wanted it, or he left it open intentionally. But the way that everything is toned was that the reason why it's called The Killing Joke is that this is finally the thing that caused Batman to kill the Joker. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what the big theory is. Okay,
that's what the theory is.
Yeah, that's what the big theory is. And it kind of, like I said, it kind of relates back to what I think some of the psychology that some people like dig into. My thing, like with what the theme said, you know, why is Batman going out of his way to save this guy? Because the truth of the matter is that as soon as it becomes easy for Batman to let the Joker go, then it becomes easier for him to just sit there and say, oh, who else am I chasing now? Well, they went ahead and they bugged me before. I'm just going to throw them off the fucking roof. Harley Quinn, she's going to get hit by the Batmobile. Catwoman, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to string her upside down, you know, and let her drop into the fucking kibble and bits machine.
Well, I agree with that.
Here's the thing about it before Gray Mouse goes. Bringing him in, I don't see a problem with. Him leaving Joker alive, I didn't see a problem with. But to say, I can help you, it's like, that ship has sailed.
All right, well,
that's just the way I feel about that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was looking at the ending scene. It was kind of like, I guess, what I've seen was like, yeah, you've been killing people, but yeah, I've had my dark side too of stuff I shouldn't have been doing either. Hmm. So he was trying to say, I guess we're saying kindred spirits. I understand you must have had a pain that made you go to where you're going. I had one that made me go to where I was going. Maybe I can help bring you out of yours because I can't get out of mine. But the laughing at the end with the joke, to me, it was fitting because during the whole thing, you've seen how he tried to be, we're going to go over what he was trying to be, and it didn't work. And the fact he threw a joke at the end wasn't exactly funny, but Batman decided to laugh. And they were laughing about it for a while.
It was a symbolic thing between those two.
And then when it just cut the credits, you kind of got an idea that somebody didn't walk away.
Yeah, and that's kind of how
I don't know who it was.
Yep.
Sorry for interrupting you, Gray Mouse. What were you going to say?
I'm going to say I saw it differently. I didn't see it like nobody didn't walk away from that. I'd seen it like if Batman Joker get past what created the Joker, he could get past the same thing that created the Batman. Is what kind of it was very. The ending was very very deep. It's very deep on both sides.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's like the great thing about this story, especially good stories, is that you're going to have people talking about these stories for a long time.
Yes.
And again, this story was originally put out in 1988, almost 30 years later.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years later.
Like
still debating over the ending of this story. Now that kind of brings us to the rest of the story part for the Killing Joke adaptation. And as Gray Mouse went ahead and brought up, there was that stuff in the beginning, the padding material that they went ahead and they added to the animated version. Because the reason being is that the actual comic book issue itself of the Killing Joke, the one-shot story, is only 36 pages long. Okay?
They couldn't. I don't think they could have stretched that.
No, I mean not without. Yeah, not without sitting there and diluting things out. The thing about it was that they had to have a way to go ahead and make it into at least 40 minutes. Because with the 36 pages as it was, it probably would have been like 20 minutes max if they just did a straight adaptation. So they added the extra stuff, which has been the source of the biggest criticisms and ranting about this particular adaptation.
Yeah.
I
wrote that earlier.
Yeah. Who wants to cover it first? I know Gray Mouse, actually, you started. Let me go ahead and let you continue on with your thought from when you started chiming in.
Well, like I was saying, you know, I mean, the filler content, I mean, I think it was fine that, you know, Batgirl and Batman went on, you know, things on their own. But the thing that really got me was that bat sex part. I mean, everything else was fine. I just really felt that was like, why was that even there? You know?
Well, I got some
bat sex. Bat sex.
Seriously, it was just.
I got something to say about that. I'm gonna let you finish first.
Go ahead, Shane. Go ahead. Shoot it out.
All right. Okay. I'm probably one of the few people who didn't read the graphic novel because I never knew about it. And from the beginning to end, that sex part to me didn't really ruin it for me because
you didn't know.
I didn't know about it to begin with, and to me, it kind of just went along with everything I was looking at. How it seemed like he was protecting her, about how she was saying she was the best he had. How you could tell she had a crush on him. You could see it leading up to, you know, when she was talking with the guy, and the guy was all like, you know, well, you know, do you like him? Well, yeah, it was complicated, and then how he said, you know, all this stuff about how, you know, I thought the gay community was complicated. Look at yours, you know.
Well,
you know, she starts fighting him, and then they have that whole moment of adrenaline, and then they have sex. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't needed, but it doesn't ruin the story.
Well, hang on. Let me say this though. I never said that it took away from it. I never said that. It's just unnecessary. It didn't take away from the story. I just felt that it was unnecessary to the story.
It was unnecessary, but then to me, it just put more emphasis on the fact of when she got shot, because you didn't know if he was coming there.
Spoilers.
Because of her. Sorry, my bad.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead. It's a 30-fucking-year-old story, all right? Yes, we're going to have spoilers in this fucking review. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It to me, you didn't know if he was coming because of what happened to her.
Like you're a little bit late for the spoilers. We just explained bat sex.
Well, yeah, okay, well, what I was trying to say was you didn't know if he was coming because she got shot or coming because of what happened to Commissioner Gordon because of what happened before that.
But that goes in the contrast of what I said before. This dude has killed one of your proteges and made one paralyzed.
Yeah. So.
But it wasn't like that. It wasn't the fact that the reason why Joker killed or shot old girl is because
Barbara.
It wasn't Barbara. Thank you. It wasn't because Batman. That was no.
But that's besides. That's besides. Let me Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and
Let me finish. That's what I was going to say. It's Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
It had nothing to do with Batman and the relationship.
And the Joker wanted to prove to Commissioner Gordon and Batman what it takes is one bad day to change your life. That was the whole point of that.
Well, Batman's one bad day made him Batman.
Exactly.
Not a psycho killer that just.
Well, that's why I said. That's why I didn't include Batman.
But then, but in the way Batman explained it, it's like, no, everybody, it doesn't take one bad fucking day, because look at what you just did to this man, and he's still sane.
Pretty much, and still told you to do it by the book. Yep.
Well, I mean, let me just throw in my 2 cents about the beginning part, and I think this is kind of where I can kind of sum up what I think of it as a whole. Well. Not in summation, but you know, the thing about the beginning part is that they needed some extra time to fill it out, at least to 40 minutes, to justify putting it on a Blu-ray DVD, a DVD release, and putting it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, like I said, just the Killing Joke by itself, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, 30 tops with credits and beginning.
Yeah.
So many people, what did they expect? It beginning with Barbara opening the door and her getting blasted?
Well, a lot of
people could tell that was filler if you had never read them.
I understood, but damn,
if you never read it.
If this movie, it would have been hilarious though if that movie would have started off with Barbara opening the door and just.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't open up like that.
like I said, like I said before, like you were saying, a lot of that stuff was unnecessary, but when you look at it, it didn't take anything away from the movie.
That's kind of what I was leading into, you know.
It just was a scene that was added just to make it more made.
Well,
pretty much.
Let's go outside of the story now. Let's go out into the real world here. This thing, to start off with, you know, the 20th anniversary or 30th anniversary of that comic, they went into this thing that the social justice warriors went into there and said that because they did a recover of it with, you know, the Joker and Barbara and all that stuff, right? So that's what started this, right? And then on top of that, you know, these social justice warriors were complaining about this movie being made in the first place. So we're lucky that the movie was even made, you know. So I guess what my point is that the filler in the beginning, I think, is you know, just the people that haven't read the comics, like you know,
like social justice warriors,
like me.
Yeah.
So.
Look, I think as far as the intro stuff goes, it wasn't that bad for some people who are attached to certain images and certain preconceptions about Batman and Batgirl. It can be a little bit jarring. I'll just be honest about that. It seemed a little out of place. That one particular scene seemed a little bit out of place.
Completely out of place.
But as Shang is saying, hey, look, he's somebody who's jumping into the story and he hasn't read the comic book before. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what it's based off of. It really doesn't hurt. In fact, I'd have to sit there and say that the people who are most vocal about this aren't fucking social justice warriors. It's butthurt comic book fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. You sit there and say, "Oh man, that just doesn't fit," not knowing that in current comic book story, okay, in comic book canon, Batman has hooked up with Batgirl, and she had a freaking miscarriage as part of their storyline.
Yep.
Okay, and guess what?
The only thing I think this isn't canon with is Batman Beyond, because she's walking, running, and so on.
Well, actually, in the comic book, she has, you know, spoilers again, I guess, if you haven't heard, but no, they have actually made it where she's been able to walk again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. All right, fine.
So, I mean, that's...
So I retract.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. And, you know, and here's the thing, when it comes to comic book canon, all of this shit happened before a huge reboot, and we're also on the cusp of DC rebooting everything again. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, pick and choose your timelines and your storyline arcs here. You know, whatever works for you.
That's one of the main reasons why I don't understand the comic book gurus are having such of a fucking hard time with this, knowing that stories, and more stories have been rebooted, reconstructed, retold, more universes, even in video games, in movies. Everything is not fucking in one direction.
Well, see,
it's not fucking canon.
I understand that. I understand that, but
they want a reason to cry.
I understand that and everything, but a lot of people, just like pretty much what I hate to go off here, but same thing like with Zelda. You know, I don't believe that the CDI version of those games exist.
It does.
So that's the same. You know, let's put that back into perspective of comic book geeks. Some people believe that the Killing the Joke is the pivotal point in the Batman universe, and it is, that created the Oracle. Oracle and everything that happened after that, or, you know, Killing Joke further into the future, right? Oracle is a very pivotal character in that universe. And then, but the thing is, though, like you said, DC likes to fucking reboot everything.
And the truth of the matter is,
when was Harley Quinn created and how?
Well, I mean, even before we get to that, the truth of the matter is, Alan Moore himself did not write this story for it to be part of the regular continuity. And that crazy wizard has been on record saying that.
You're right.
You know,
it was not intended to be canon.
No,
it wasn't.
But the comic book geeks made it canon.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to be mad about it, then to me, like I said, it was an excellent telling of it.
Well, it was an excellent presentation of it,
and if they can't get past one scene of her doing something with him,
which they can't.
I mean, okay. So we talked about the story. Now let's talk about the voice actors.
No, actually, the funny thing is that as far as the voice acting goes, I think it was fucking excellent considering the people.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Mark Hamill got original voices of the animated series. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you had Mark Hamill doing the Joker. Tara Strong was back to do Batgirl. Yep. Kevin Conroy was back to go ahead and do Batman. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they didn't have the original guy, Bob Hastings, to do
Commissioner Gordon right
now. But the thing about it,
I thought Shane, that either Batman was going to come out or Disco Ball was going to. I was like, wait, what happened? I was like, wait, it wasn't your fault. That's why I was like, wait, what happened there?
Yeah. Dude, you just went X-ray, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you went to detective mode.
It was a technical difficulty for a second. Let's just call it that.
Well, you're still connected, so that's a good thing.
You crap. Come on.
Yeah.
We're middle-aged guys. We're middle-aged friends.
Yep.
I know.
But like I said, the one thing that was excellent with voice acting, look, everybody was asking for Mark Hamill to go ahead and do that one bad day monologue that the Joker does, to Commissioner Gordon, and he fucking delivers in spades. Now, how that compares to the actual animation quality, which I think was kind of below average for what Warner Brothers Animation has put out, I can go ahead and I can take that toss up. What about you guys? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
Well, from what I understood was that Mark Hamill would only do. He pretty much quit the Joker voice, right? So he said the only time that I will come back. The only time that I will come back and do the Joker is through the Killing Joke.
Yeah,
that says a lot on Mark Hamill.
Didn't he come back for Batman Arkham Knight?
No, that was somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as for the animation, I was looking more for a animated series style of animation, but I didn't find it completely jarring. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. The animation didn't bother me at all.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't find it jarring at all.
I've been watching a lot of DC ones lately, and it was about on par with them. The way the new DC style has been, so it looked like it's like the last 4 ones I've seen.
Okay. All right.
If we would have watched it and it would have been the quality of the 80s or 90s with borders at the side, no, fuck that. It had to be animated is the way it was.
If it was like Batman animated series, then yeah, that would have been a problem because we moved past that already. So.
Yeah, I mean,
it's that and the voice acting. I mean, come on, there should be no one that's questioning that.
Yeah,
no, the voices were on point.
Period.
I mean, these are the folks that people, when they think about, okay, what's it sound like in my head when Batman is speaking? This is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
When Batman first talked, it took me back to the animated series. I was like, wow, that's the same voice.
Yeah, it was none of that. I am Batman. It was none of that bullshit, man.
Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?
I need it. Give me a throat lozenger, please. And then
Mark Hamill's Joker in a way. I mean, just that laughing away, the sadistic man. He did that good. He did it justice.
Yep. Alrighty. In 90 seconds, guys. Actually, probably a minute. What are your final thoughts for it? Go. Whoever's first. Like I said.
If you haven't seen this movie, see it, watch it, and embrace it for what it is. Just sit there and watch it, and then just let yourself be drawn into it, just like you would on any TV show or any movie. Don't go in just prejudging. Just watch the damn movie, and if you come out with something positive, especially if you enjoy it, fine. If you don't, once again, fine. But go into it open-minded with a clean slate and give this movie a chance.
For me,
go ahead, Gray Mouse, go.
For me, I grew up with the comic. I read the comic, and I thought everything was on point, the exception of the filler stuff in the top of it. But like the theme said, watch it with an open mind, and enjoy the performances of the voice actors, because it's spot on.
Okay, Shang, go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, touching on both, they both said, for the people who like the comic book, you're gonna love it. For people who just want to watch a good movie, you're gonna like it, and the filler does not ruin it. So go in watching it like you've never seen it before, and I guarantee you're gonna come out saying it was a good movie.
Because this is filler.
Okay. Another 80s flashback. Okay. All right. My thoughts on it, and I think I might get some comments for this, but I think it was okay. All right. And part of it is that now, since I've seen it, I also reread the comic book a few times to go ahead and take a look at it. And to tell you the truth, this story is not a good story for adaptation. It isn't. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not saying it's a bad story. I'm just saying it doesn't give you a lot to work with for adaptation. And that's part of the reason why Alan Moore doesn't want. No, I mean, just in general. Yeah, just in general. And there's a reason why Alan Moore doesn't like other people adapting his work. He absolutely fucking hated Watchmen. Okay, but granted, Watchmen was originally meant to be like a mini series of 5 hours long. Okay, but yeah,
and they just
yeah, thank you, Zack Snyder again. But like I said, Killing Joke itself, I think it's okay. The first part just seems a little bit out of place. I can appreciate it for the context that they're giving it within the actual animated adaptation itself, but I'm not sure if it's anything that was really needed. Okay, like other people read. I like the standalone story as it is, originally from the comic books, but if there's any sort of shortcomings that anybody has realistically from this animated adaptation, it doesn't come from the performances. It doesn't come from the animation itself. It comes from the fact that this story is not good for adaptation. I'm going to say it, and people are going to fucking hate me for it. Look, if that's the case, leave a comment below. I will answer it. But
if they want to hear you for telling the truth, then like I said, logic is logic.
That's my honest opinion about it. That's what it is. It's opinion. Okay. Any other final thoughts, folks?
Yeah. Go ahead, Grandma.
Well, I was going to say, like the Reverend was saying. I mean, I could kind of agree with that as well. It's a tough story to adapt to animation. It really is, and it was originally a standalone story that actually got more popular than it should have. And that's pretty much the bottom line right there.
Or like the Reverend pretty much said, they had to add the extra stuff in or else it was going to be over very quickly.
Yep. 20 minutes.
You're going to complain that they gave you a full-length movie instead of a 20-minute.
At least they didn't cut valuable shit out.
That.
At least they didn't cut
a full movie. Be happy you got a full movie out of it.
Yeah, at least they didn't cut things out. Batman vs Superman.
Oh God, don't bring that up. I should just watch that.
Alrighty, and with that, I think that's okay. Now, before we go into it, did you guys give ratings? As far you guys want to give a final rating?
Final score?
Yeah, final score. All right.
What?
Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll go with a 5. We'll do a 5-star scale. All right. Where a 5-star is, this is something that you think everybody must go see, and a 1-star is something that you think everybody must fucking avoid. Okay. All right. Shang, you go first. Let you go first.
I would give it a 4.5 because we do have the comic book diehards that are gonna get mad about it. But if you look at it for what it's supposed to be, 4.5 is about right.
Team, what about you, sir?
I give it a 4. I really like everything that went on. Just like Shane just said. I mean, come on. This is what they presented, and it's not like people are complaining about, oh, they're missing everything, and they just fucked up. This isn't Jim. This isn't Ghostbusters, okay?
I haven't seen either one of those two. I'm not going to now that you mentioned it.
Have we. And no middle-aged guy here has seen those. But it's not those.
Yep.
Well, the trailers.
Yeah.
I can't say with face I've seen the cartoons, but anyway.
Yeah. Gray Mouse, give us your final score, sir.
I give it a 3.5. It's an average movie. Like I said, I really think that the filler material was unnecessary. I think they should have just went straight for the throat. They should have just started the movie or just like the comic book and an exact. I don't care if it was 20 minutes.
Yeah, it would have been a short. It would have been a short special. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 3.
It would have been DLC.
Yeah,
Arkham series.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't think it was the great piece of animation that I was hoping it to be. But I also realized that, like I said, the story doesn't adapt well.
It doesn't translate to.
Yeah, it doesn't translate to adaptation well. I have to give props to DC and Warner Animation that they actually brought it out, especially since they didn't want to do it for over 20 years. Okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this one up, folks. Like I say at the end of every video, if you're so kind, hit like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment below, especially if you disagree with any one of our points. I dare you to. We are the 4 middle-aged guys just bullshitting about nothing. We're going to wrap this video up. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And Shanglong32.
Yes. Good movies, good anime movies. At least it wasn't Jim or Ghostbusters. Credits.
I'm out.
Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger? You want to give it to an ordinary citizen. Where's the trigger?
I'm Batman. Throat Lounge later. I'm Batman.
That's truly outrageous.
Won't cross the streams.